What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the Thomas Gallery, and I don't know if you can tell who this is, but in case you don't know, this is the man, the myth, the legend, Bruce Lee, known as Lee Jun Fong. That's his birthday. But popularly known as Bruce Lee. For those who don't know who Bruce Lee is, first of all, shame on you. Let's get out of the way. If you don't know who Bruce Lee is, what's wrong with you? If you ever played a fighting video game of any sort, you have encountered Bruce Lee. Like ever. If you have ever seen a martial arts movie in the modern times, in the modern age, you are in some form or fashion familiar with Bruce Lee. Okay? If you have ever heard of the Wu-Tang Clan, the rap group Wu-Tang Clan, chances are, you are familiar with Bruce Lee. Okay? In case somebody don't know, I'm just gonna break that down. Bruce Lee was, because he passed away many years ago, Bruce Lee was a martial arts film star, an extremely popular martial arts film star during the 70s. I think he only did like 4 movies. It was The Chinese Connection, Into the Dragon, Return of the Dragon, and The Big Boss. With his magnum opus being Into the Dragon. That's a classic. And I've been wanting to do this drawing for quite some time. For a minute now. I've been wanting to do a Bruce Lee drawing for a while. I was going to do it like a month ago, but I didn't like the way it came out, so I didn't want to get frustrated with it, so I paused and I waited until the time was right for me to attempt it again. So I got the urge to try it, to take a stab at it again. So here we are with Mr. Lee, the greatest martial arts film star of all time. And there's not a person on the planet that can debate that. Well, there are people who can debate it, but no one's going to. There isn't a person on the planet who can say, well, such is bad. No. Because your favorite martial arts movie star will tell you that Bruce Lee is their favorite. So it don't matter what you think. If your favorite martial arts movie star tells you who his or her favorite person is, they will tell you Bruce Lee. Okay? Okay. Now, Bruce Lee, he only did 4 movies. He died in the 70s. I think it was like a brain something happened with his brain. I forgot. But in those 4 movies, in a short period of time, the impact of his movies were felt throughout the entire world, even back then. Like, he was that dude back then. Like, not Jay-Z or Beyonce, like with music. He was that way with martial arts and movies, for that matter. He was that dude. And to only do 4 movies, he only had a chance to do 4, and he died making another movie. He died before I was able to be finished. And he was so popular that after he died, they would make like rip off Bruce Lee's. Like I used to see like Bruce Lee. I see like Bruce Lie, or I would see Bruce Lee spelled like with an L-I, right? And it was because when he died, there was nobody to really fill that void. Like that's how major he was. When he died, shoot, there was no one to fill that void. So instead of just coming up with a new martial arts star, they literally ripped off his image. Like they it was I forgot what movie it was where they would have his body. No, sorry. They would have like when he died, they had like a false body, right? It was a scene in one of his movies where he was looking in the mirror, right? And the thing is, it wasn't him. The body that they used wasn't his body, but they took like a image of his face. They took an image of his face and they superimposed it on another man's body. It's like that's how crazy it was when he died. Like it was like, okay, how are we going to fix this? Like Bruce Lee's gone. How are we going to fix this? Because once he died, it's like there's nobody else. There's nobody else to take over. So you left a big void. Now, I would tell you the first time I seen or even heard, first time I even seen or heard of Bruce Lee, right? A couple of times. One, I remember my brother and I, we were watching, which one was it? We were watching the Game of Death, where like the tower thing with him and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I think it's the game. No, Big Boss. No, it was Game of Death. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it was Game of Death. I think that was actually his last movie, Game of Death. And I remember watching that with my brother. And I remember the scene where he was going up the tower fighting the different fighters. I remember when he got to the last boss, which was played by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one of his former students. And I remember the fight scene. I remember the scene where, because my brother had seen the movie before me, so when we watched it, my brother was like, "Look, watch this part, right?" So it was a scene where Bruce Lee had walked up to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who played a blind martial arts master, right? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was a blind martial arts master. So the scene where Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's character is sitting down in the chair, relaxed, and the room is dark, and Bruce Lee character runs to Kareem character, and Kareem all of a sudden lifts his leg up and kicks Bruce in the chest, right? And when he kicked him in the chest, all you saw was Kareem's footprint on Bruce Lee's chest. And what was shocking to me was the size of Kareem's foot on Bruce Lee's chest. Like Kareem's foot was literally the size of Bruce Lee's chest. So when you see the scene when he kicks Bruce Lee, all you see is a big footprint, like a dirty footprint on Bruce Lee's shirt, his uniform, his outfit. When he backs up, you see like a footprint from the top, like from his clavicle all the way down to his freaking like diaphragm or something. So that's what caught me. I was like, dang, his foot is huge. Like I wouldn't think about Bruce Lee. I was like, dang, his foot is huge. So then the fight begins. I see them fight, and then Bruce Lee, wins. The second time I remember seeing Bruce Lee wasn't even a Bruce Lee movie. It was on the early '80s movies, The Last Dragon. Those who know about The Last Dragon know what I'm talking about. And there was a scene where the main character, Leroy Green, imitating him, and they showed a scene where Bruce Lee. Well, think this is on the Chinese Connection, scene, where Bruce Lee's doing like the little wave motion. You know, his famous sort of like wax on, wax off wave motion. And there's a scene where when he's doing the hand motion, and you see like the different like the after images of Bruce Lee's arms and hands moving, and then the main villain kicks at him, and he backs up and he does a move where he turns his hand, like he's turning the knob, and when he does that, you see the after image, and that part right there where he backs up and he turns his hand, that was the scene in the movie that I saw watching Last Dragon. That scene right there was the best scene I've ever watched. Period. Like to this day, it's my favorite scene ever. And the fact that it was Bruce Lee doing it was even more special. Because when he did it, it was like an octopus. When he did, I was like, oh, he's like an octopus with this. So that scene is what caught me. But Bruce Lee like Bruce Lee, like after Bruce Lee came out, everybody got into martial arts. The whole kung fu fighting craze, that's because of Bruce Lee and the Chinese martial arts movies. But Bruce Lee made the Chinese martial arts movies worldwide because for a while, you know, when it came like to martial arts and cinema, it was always kind of like the same story. How like Bruce Lee would call it one long sword fight, where it always the story was some teacher, some person, some loved one was killed, and then the person who's a martial artist comes to get revenge and all that stuff, and it come like it's always like a Shaolin Temple type feel, like the 36 Chambers of Death. Love that movie. The 5 deadly venoms and all that stuff. It was always the same story for the most part. But what Bruce Lee did, Bruce Lee made the martial arts movies seem more like a Hollywood movie. Like when he did Return of the Dragon with the Chuck Norris fight scene. By the way, the Chuck Norris fight scene in Return of the Dragon is the best fight scene ever. I don't care what nobody say. I know I love the Matrix and all that stuff, but the fight scene with Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris is the best fight scene ever. One of the best choreographed scenes ever. The action, the mood, the music, the freaking cat that came out and the cat meowed and they started fighting. The best fight scene ever. I don't care. Fight me. I don't care. The best fight scene ever. Hands down. But like he made his martial arts movies different from the normal martial arts movies. Because the normal martial arts movies were, just I want to get revenge, and you killed my master, and the Shaolin Temple must be avenged, and stuff like that. He brought away, his like in Return of the Dragon, his sister was the one that was harmed. Excuse me. His sister was the one that was harmed that he wanted to get revenge for. And when he fought the dude that ended up having his sister kill herself, man, that fight scene in Enter the Dragon, woo, man, I'm trying to tell you, the best fight one, man. Bruce Lee, man, thinking of looking back on it, Bruce Lee had, like, I would say top 3 best fighting scenes ever. If you think about it, Bruce Lee had the best fighting scenes ever. Just think about that. The scene where He's doing a standoff with the white dude. The boards don't hit back. Boards don't hit back. That scene where then he squares up against the white dude. I forgot his name. Apologize. And those two punches, God, yo, those two punches that he hit that dude with, pop. Every time I see it, like, yo, this man is taxing the crap out of him. That's one scene. The the scene the scene where him and Chuck Norris, my favorite fight scene ever. The scene where what else scene? I just the scene in Into the Dragon where he's fighting the main boss in the mirror, the freaking mirror scene. Come on now, the mirror scene. Like, what else I need to talk about? If I say mirror scene and Into the Dragon, it's understood. Like, it ain't nothing to talk about. It's understood. Mirror scene, Into the Dragon. What else we need to talk about? Right? So, like, the top three, in my opinion, the best top three fighting scenes ever. Ever, ever, ever. So, like, and then when you think about it, he was responsible for a lot of people nowadays to get their start. He gave Jackie Chan his first start. If you look at the movie, the prison scene in Into the Dragon, one of the dudes, they like the neck that he broke and all that stuff. The neck breaker scene where he's in the little cave thing fighting off the henchman. Is a scene where he's actually, he's fighting and he grabs one of the henchman's neck and breaks it. That henchman is Jackie Chan. So had it not been for Bruce Lee, you wouldn't have heard about Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan even says that. So one for Bruce Lee, you wouldn't have heard about Jackie Chan. So that should also tell you the influence of Bruce Lee. Sammo Hung, who used to train with Jackie Chan, also got his start with Bruce Lee. So Bruce Lee always looked out. Bruce Lee was always look out for the cookout. And those things translated into monumental careers. And there have been more movies about Bruce Lee than any other martial artist. Like there's no Jackie Chan movie. Now you got like Ip Man, which is Bruce Lee's teacher. He started getting his shine because he's the one that taught Bruce Lee in the first place, so he's getting his shine. Oh yeah, just like his impact. And he had, his son. He had two children, Shannon Lee and Brandon Lee. His son was a movie star in his own right. His son was the Crow, the original Crow. That was his son. That was Bruce Lee's son, Brandon Lee. And his daughter Shannon Lee, his wife, Linda, like they helped him. He even came up with his own martial arts style. Like you bad when you come up with your own martial arts style that's recognized throughout the world. Because back then, a lot of people called him a fake. He was a phony, and he had to really prove himself in underground fights. So he had to prove that because at the time they didn't like the Chinese didn't like you teaching foreigners. Certain things they thought like certain things should be kept secret and away from what they call the Kuai Lo. The foreign devils, the term foreign devil. So He said, "I will teach whoever I want to teach. I will teach whoever wants to learn. And what y'all gonna do about it?" So there were many times when he was challenged, like fights to the death, and you know he was he stood up against him, and he was able to teach in California, able to teach and teach whoever he wanted to teach, whoever wanted to learn, he was willing to teach. And he taught a lot of people. Like I say, he taught Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He taught many famous Hollywood stars. He did work with people like Jim Kelly and John Saxon and all that stuff. So, but like his moments, his iconic moments, and he was so popular that every fighting game if you buy any fighting game, I don't care what it is, you buy any fighting game, there will be a character referencing Bruce Lee. Like he had Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat. You have Fei Long from Street Fighter. You got Law from Tekken. Forest Law and Martial Law from Tekken. You got you have Maxi from Soul Calibur. You got who else? I'm trying to remember all the game and stuff. You have who else? Who else? But it's just so many characters that are made based off of him. Like he Bruce Lee was the first one to have a character after his image. Fei Long from Street Fighter. Did I say Fei Long already? Fei Long from Street Fighter. Um, I'm trying to think of who else it was. I forgot his name, but he was on was it Virtual Fighter? I think what name Virtual Fighter. Which is like what kind of influence that he invents his own martial arts style that is recognized, like Jeet Kune Do is recognized as a legitimate martial art that is used in like mixed martial arts. Like that's crazy, and that's in modern time because usually most martial arts styles were founded 100 years ago and all that stuff. He was doing something revolutionary and he wrote a book about it, The Way of Jeet Kune Do. You know, which pretty much means the way of the intercepting fist. That's what Jeet Kune Do means, the way of intercepting fist. Like who else do that? Who else do that? Let's see how else I cover. You know, it is. I know when I was a kid growing up, every time Now, what I would do is I would put on my little bathrobe and tie it up like I was doing martial arts. I would do the noise. I would do what? I would do all that. Like he made that famous. He made that sound. That's his thing. You know. Of course, he had to struggle with that, because of because of his ancestry. But he was actually born here. His ancestry is, from China, but he was born here, and he's part German. That tripped me out when I learned that about Bruce Lee. He's actually part German. Like that tripped me out. He had a brother, and people thought that was it Jason Scott Lee, the guy who played Mowgli in the Jungle Book, was his relative. No, but Jason Scott Lee did play Bruce Lee, and was it Dragon the Bruce Lee story? Almost done here. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Bruce Lee. Hope you enjoyed this drawing. Leave a comment down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. I will catch you all later. Peace.